Okay, so MediaTek just dropped something crazy. Like this chip, the Dimensity 9600 Pro is built on TSMC's brand new 2nm process. And if you don't know what that means, just think of it like this. The smaller the number, the more powerful and efficient the chip. We went from 3nm to 2nm, and that jump alone is a big deal. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Early benchmark scores, basically speed tests for chips, are showing that this thing is beating the Apple A19 Pro and the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 by up to 25%. 25%! That's not a small gap. That's MediaTek walking into the room and saying, yeah, we're here now. The single-core scores are sitting between 4,200 and 4,300, and multi-core is hitting 12,000 to 12,500. For context, those numbers put this chip ahead of what Apple and Qualcomm are currently offering. On paper, this thing is a monster. And here's why it's so fast. MediaTek switched up the CPU setup. Instead of having just one high-performance core running at 5 GHz, they now have 2 cores pushing 5 GHz at the same time. The full cluster layout is 2 big cores, 3 medium cores, and 3 efficiency cores, what they're calling a 2 + 3 + 3 setup. More power cores means more speed, especially when you're doing heavy tasks. Okay, but let's keep it real, because nothing is perfect. That 5 GHz speed, it comes with a serious problem: heat. Like, we're not talking a little warm. We're talking the chip gets hot enough that it literally slows itself down during long, heavy tasks. It's called thermal throttling. The phone goes, okay, this is too much, and pulls the brakes on performance to cool things down. So what does that mean for you? It means those crazy benchmark numbers, you might only see them in short bursts. The moment you're gaming for 20 or 30 minutes straight, or doing something really heavy for a long time, the chip might not be hitting those peak speeds anymore. And honestly, that's the part that matters most for everyday use, because nobody just runs a benchmark and puts the phone down. You're gaming, streaming, editing, multitasking, and if the chip can't hold that speed under pressure, those numbers start to mean less. Now, here's the part that got me excited though, the gaming side, because it's not just about the CPU. This chip is also packing ARM's brand new Magni GPU. That's a next-level graphics processor that could absolutely change how Android gaming looks and feels. And on top of that, it supports LPDDR6 RAM, the fastest RAM we've seen in mobile, and UFS 5.0 storage, which is basically ultra-fast storage that makes everything snappier. So even if the CPU throttles under heat, the GPU situation could still be really impressive, especially for gaming and graphics-heavy apps. Now, real quick, and this is important, what was tested here is an engineering sample. That means it's basically a prototype. Engineers sometimes push these chips beyond what the final product will actually do, so the scores we're seeing right now could actually be higher than what lands in real phones. The final commercial version might drop a little. That's normal. But even if it drops a bit, if it's still consistently beating the competition by even 10 to 15%, that's a massive win for MediaTek and for Android users. And for those of you who are into emulation, this is where things get really exciting. If we've been running games like Spider-Man Miles Morales at 30 to 40 frames per second on current Android chips, a jump like this could push us to 60 and beyond. That's the difference between playable and buttery smooth. Android emulation is about to level up in a serious way if this chip delivers. The bottom line, the Dimensity 9600 Pro is shaping up to be MediaTek's most ambitious chip ever. The performance potential is real. The heat problem is also real. And we're going to be watching very closely as we get closer to the actual launch.